Let's look at the components of our sling system. This particular section of it is called the slider section. It has three main components. It has a buckle area, it has a handle and slider, and it has an elastic band right here. The elastic band actually has two functions to it. The first main function is to keep the webbing from getting caught up in the slider/handle. The other function we'll talk about here in just a moment. One of the other main components of our sling system is the torso section right here. It has two components. It has a buckle similar to the slider section that's in the front of the sling, but it also has a buckle right here that moves back and forth to adjust the sling to your shoulder width. On this particular rifle, we have an M-lock mounted into our handguard. To attach the sling properly, we take the quick disconnect, we push in on the button, and then we push it into the M-lock hole. Now we always want to make sure and pull very firmly on that to make sure that it is seated properly in the mount. So I flipped the rifle over. Now let's put the torso section of the sling into the rear portion of the stock. Again, we're going to take the quick detach and we're going to push in the rear button and we're going to push it into the quick detach mount on the back of the stock. Again, we pull very firmly on that so that we make sure that it's seated home. The reason I like doing the quick detach on the opposite side, I'll explain here in just a moment. I spoke earlier about the elastic band. It has two roles. The first role is to keep the webbing from getting caught up in the handle. The other role is to help store the sling. How we do that is we take all the slack out of the slider section and we take the torso section and we fold it over like this. And we get about that length right there. Then we pinch this end, we hold it in our fingers, and we push it up inside the elastic band. I like to use a ballpoint pen or something similar to push it up inside until it pops out the front. Then I pull on both sides or both ends of it until it's nice and tight. The reason for that is it helps the sling store high and tight, and it also keeps it from getting wrapped around other weapons. The adjustment of this sling system is actually very easy. But remember, the first thing that we need to do is we need to make sure our weapon is safe. Follow the 4 firearm safety procedures at the beginning of this video. So here's how we adjust this sling system to the individual shooter. The first thing we do is we take the handle and we move it to the middle of the slider section. Then we shoulder the weapon, we put it into the pocket of our shoulder, and we bring it up into a shooting position. What we're looking for is the proper amount of tension to push the gun back into your shoulder. We don't want it overly tensioned, but we want it so that it helps support the gun in a firing position. Now, I don't have enough tension on this at the moment. So what I need to do is take the gun off, and we're going to adjust the torso piece in the back. We're going to move the slider buckle here just an inch or so, and then we're going to put the rifle back on and put it back up into a shooting position. If we feel that we have the right tension at this time, now we can use the handle to micro adjust the amount of tension that we want on the sling. So if you remember earlier in the video, I said that I put my quick detach systems on the stock on the opposing side from where I place it on the handguard. There's a reason for that. With this sling system, when I'm with my dominant eye, this is the normal shooting position. But what if I want to change from shooting on my right shoulder to my left shoulder? Well, what we do is we take the handle, we pull all of it out, we take our arm and we move it out of the sling, and now we can shoulder the weapon on our left side. The reason for this, having it on the opposing side, is if we had it over here on the same side that we had it on our handguard, it would end up choking us. So that's the reason why.